Hello, Starshine. This is Smadar from Song of Stones, and I am a crystal whisperer, which means I talk to stones and they talk to me. And the stones that were whispering for us this week, today, are what I call, their name is anandalite. They're also called rainbow quartz. I think there are a couple of other names they're known by. I call them starshine crystals. And these are some of my favorite crystals. I know I really can't say that because I love them all, but these hold a really, really special place in my heart. And so do you, because as you can see, I named these starshine crystals, and that's what I call you guys. So I have been keeping these guys near. I'm trying to remember even how they got my attention, because they've been around for a couple of weeks at least, I think. I just, sometimes the stones start singing and I scoop them up and keep them near and see what happens. And with these guys, what I started to notice, and I didn't know it was the crystals at first. I thought it was just the time of year. I thought it was the collective field. And then I started to understand yesterday when they shared their song with me. And their song, for those of you who don't know, who are new to me, the song is what I call the Stones' messages. I call it their song. They sing. It's a beautiful way of communicating with another being. And it's not singing in the way that we hear a song with music. It's a message that comes through on a vibrational level. And I translate it into words. So their song came through yesterday, and then I started to understand that what I was feeling was a completion. Things were completing, things that have been on my list for weeks, for months, some even years, have just started completing. Can I say started completing? They have been completing. And it's a really lovely thing to check things off of our to-do list. There is something so satisfying about that. And I have noticed that other people have been feeling that sense of completion. And I think it's just the time of year. We're clearing things out. We're making space. We're clearing up the cobwebs and the dust that have accumulated over the winter. But this is something a little bit different. This is something a little bit deeper. It's not just a checking things off on a list. It's much, much deeper. It's changing your state of living. It's changing your state of being. It's changing how you live. And when I say you, I'm talking about me. And it could be you, because I don't know. Sometimes these things happen on a collective as well, even though I'm experiencing it on an individual level. But like I said, I think part of it is the time of year. But being around these crystals, it's much, much deeper. I have so much to say about these guys, and I really am finding myself at a loss of where to start. I'm just going to tell you what comes, what flows in, and for the rest, you'll be able to read about them in the weekly blog post. And I always send a little something extra special through the newsletter. So it might be their song might go out through the newsletter, or parts of their song. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but trust that I will share everything that came through as best I can. And so do visit the blog post and the newsletter. And if you're not signed up, you are welcome to join our community. Happy to have you as part of our collective. So let me just start with these crystals. So there's a reason that they're called rainbow quartz. If you look at their faces, and I just want to make clear that these are natural crystals. They have not been altered in any way. If I have, I'm going to show you something. So excuse the blurriness for a second, because I have this one close by. I just want to show it to you. Okay, so that one, the bright, vivid turquoise color, you could see the rainbows on it. That's been, that's a it's not man-made, it's a natural crystal, but it's been treated with, I believe this one is gold. There's different colors, there's pink, there's purple, there's all kinds of colors, and depending on what mineral they treat them with, they come up with these different colors. And I think this one is gold, if I'm not mistaken. And they are called, what are they called? You know what? The name has escaped my mind for the moment. But I'm sure you recognize them. They're very popular, and people love them. So those are the treated ones, and these guys are natural. And if you look at their faces, you can see flashes of rainbow. I'm going to move the camera slowly so I don't make you dizzy. And you can see sparkles of color. Very much similar to the treated ones, but these are all natural, which is incredible because it's such an amazing thing to see. We love rainbows, and when we get to see them in a crystal in so many different flashes of rainbows, it's really something that you have to experience, and it's something that I hope that you do experience because it's really lovely. So those are anandamide, rainbow quartz, starshine crystals, as I call them. And they form in different ways. There are some that form as they're kind of like stalagmites. They form in fingers. So the crystals grow around in a spiral. I have some of those. You can see them on the website, I believe. I have pictures of those. And then they form in these nodules, so plates almost. So underneath, they are, I guess a matrix of some sort. So you can see how they grow. And the bigger one, I'm going to try and turn this one around because this one is, you can see this one almost looks like dendritic agate. I don't know if that's what it is. That's what it reminds me of. So that one's quite thick. And then the quartz grows on top. So I started to notice that I was getting things done after these crystals started singing to me, and I brought them out into my world and kept them close by. And that's what I do. And I want to encourage you guys to do that with your crystals. When you're working with a crystal, when you feel a crystal call to you, and when you are working intentionally with a crystal, keep it nearby and work with it for a while. You know, a few days, a week, a month. I like to work with them for a long time. I work with crystals for a year at a time. And, you know, this year we're, as a group, as a collective, as a community, we're working with twins and stars. So these are perfect ones. There are 2 crystals and they are starshine crystals. So they're in beautiful synchronicity with our energy of the year, which is stars and twins. So yes, so if you're working with crystals, I encourage you. And how do you know a crystal is singing for you? You'll be very attracted to it. You'll feel this undeniable, visceral, primal urge towards this crystal. And or you'll just it'll just be so beautiful to you. You'll look at it and you'll think that there's nothing more beautiful. And that's when you know that you're in connection with the crystal, and when it is singing to you and you are singing to it. So let me just move them closer together. Yeah, so I had them nearby and I was connecting with them. I don't keep, like, it's not like I'm having my thoughts that I am, you know, I'm focused on these crystals and nothing else. I kind of forget about them. I keep them nearby. I see them. I look at them. I love them. I admire them. And then I just let things happen. And I started to notice that things were completing. And it wasn't just that things were completing. It was, there was no frenzy about it. There was no urgency about it. There was no stress or anxiety about it. It was flowing in just harmony. Just this beautiful movement through life. And that's really the key. And I know that a lot of people would be thrilled just to be checking things off their list in an easy and effortless way. And that's all wonderful and good. And it is. I love that too. I love checking things off my list. It's done. Move on to the next thing. But this was a little bit different. There was no stress about it. And there was even no, it wasn't even that I was thinking, oh yes, I checked this off my list, yay. I didn't even get into that. It was just very much being in flow, being in presence, and being in my body. It's something that I'm finding challenging to explain. And I'm trying to think of an example of just, it's kind of like when you're out in nature and you're going for a walk and you stop worrying about what's outside of the trail, the forest. I like to walk in the forest. You stop thinking about what's outside of it, and you're just in the moment, and you're just enjoying the sense, and you're enjoying the sights, and you're enjoying being in your body, and you're enjoying moving. And you just kind of get out of your head, and you're just in this beautiful flow. That's, it's not exactly what I'm talking about, but that's sort of what I mean. And I thought it was just, the time of year, just the stars were aligned. I don't know. I didn't think that these crystals were creating this magic in my life until I started, because I knew I was going to talk to you about these crystals. I didn't know what I was going to talk to you about until yesterday, honestly. And then I just connected with them, and I just listened into what they wanted to tell us. And I got this most incredible message from them. And I won't be able to share it now. I won't be able to share it now, but it will go out in some way, like I said before. It was a bit of a long message, and I couldn't even begin to give you the gist of it at the moment, because I'm still in the flow of it. I can tell you that one of the things that they are here to do is to repattern, reorganize and alchemize for harmony. Pretty big promise. But honestly, that is what I've been feeling. And will that be the case for you if you go and pick up an anandamide crystal, starshine crystal? Are you going to experience that exactly? I would say that that's the possibility of these crystals. One of the possibilities, because they're brilliant beings and they're not just about one thing. But I would tell you that is the possibility that they bring into your life. And then, you have to meet them part way. You have to be open, and you have to be in that readiness, that state of readiness before that jump into this kind of harmony. So all that means is, with these crystals, they offer you the possibility of reorganizing and repatterning and alchemizing into harmony if you're ready. When you're ready. That's one of the possibilities that they offer, and then you have to be ready for it. So I don't want you to run out and pick up an anandamide and think that you're going to have the exact same experience that I did, because you know, their connection with you, their promise or their gift for you might be a little bit different. I don't know. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And I also want to say, one of the things that I can tell you is that they throw rainbows into your space. They fill your space with rainbows. You might not be able to see them, or you might. I don't know. You know, some people can see things that are not visible to the rest of us. But this is one of the things that they do. They throw out rainbows, and they are wonderful to be around. They just exude hope and magic and creativity and so much more. And that's these beautiful starshine crystals. And that's who you are too. And I just want to say that there's a reason I call you guys starshine. You guys all have that possibility and that capacity and that brilliance and that beauty. And I'm going to leave you with that. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being part of the community. I appreciate you all. And I invite you to join us for our next Crystal Live, which is going to be at the beginning of May. If you're on the mailing list, if you're part of the Crystal community, you'll receive a Sunday Sparkle every week, and your invitation will be in that. And I also do send out reminders on the day of our live gathering. And I hope to see you there. And you have been I hope to see you there. And in the meantime, you know what? I just want to pause for 1 second and just let you feel in. Let me move this, because I want you to just have a moment to feel into the energy of these crystals, in case you don't have one, in case you can't get your hands on one. You can tap in. Just take a nice breath. Breathe with the crystals. And receive their gift. So much love to you all.